I am Lance, an emissary of the Confederation of Planets. I greet you now in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. I communicate with you now. Most people assume spiritual growth comes from learning more information, new ideas, new techniques, new explanations about how reality works. But growth does not come from accumulation alone. It comes from orientation, from where consciousness is placed within the architecture of experience itself. Reality is not a single field encountered in only one way. It is a paired system, intentionally designed to teach awareness how to know itself through both action and reflection. These two modes are not separate worlds, nor higher and lower realms, but complementary orientations of the same continuum. You move between them constantly, often without realizing it, and your development depends on how consciously you participate in that movement. One orientation is the world of action, the mode you wake into each day. Here, bodies feel solid, time appears linear, and space defines distance, effort, and limitation. Choices matter because consequences unfold slowly and often unpredictably. You do not see the full outcome of a decision when you make it, and that uncertainty gives choice its gravity. This environment exists precisely so growth is possible, because without limitation there would be no discovery. The density of experience is not a flaw in reality. It is the friction that allows consciousness to feel itself acting. The other orientation is the world of meaning, which you enter during dreams, deep meditation, honest reflection, moments of inspiration, and the transition between lifetimes. In this mode, time behaves differently. It opens, loops, and reveals patterns rather than sequences. Space becomes fluid, identity expands, and memory becomes accessible beyond a single lifetime. Here, experiences are understood as part of larger configurations rather than isolated events. Insight comes easily, but direct physical action does not. You can see the map clearly, yet movement within the physical world must wait for a return to the realm of action. These two orientations exist because one without the other leads to imbalance. Action without understanding creates repetition, patterns replayed again and again with increasing intensity. Understanding without action creates stagnation, clarity that never reshapes lived experience. The system cycles consciousness between these modes to prevent both outcomes. You act without knowing, then you know without acting. And through their integration, something new is born. This oscillation is not random. It is the engine of spiritual evolution itself. What many people call suffering emerges when these orientations fall out of alignment. When action continues without reflection, life becomes increasingly constricted, one repetitive and painful. When reflection occurs without embodiment, insight fails to take root and reality remains unchanged. Suffering is not imposed from outside as punishment or test. It is a signal generated by the system, indicating that awareness must shift. In this sense, suffering is not the enemy of awakening. It is one of its most reliable catalysts. Catalyst appears in many forms: pain, loss, confusion, longing, conflict, or profound disorientation. It can also arrive through beauty, love, awe, or moments that dissolve old identities. Anything that interrupts unconscious momentum and forces attention inward is functioning as catalyst. Most people try to resolve catalyst by changing external circumstances alone, but catalyst is rarely about the situation itself. It is about how consciousness is oriented within the situation. When awareness remains locked entirely in action mode, catalyst feels overwhelming and personal. Life seems hostile, unfair, or meaningless. When awareness shifts into the mode of meaning, the same experience becomes intelligible. Patterns emerge, lessons reveal themselves, and emotional charge begins to soften. Reflection does not erase pain, but it transforms pain into information. This shift is one of the most important skills in spiritual development. This is why honest self-inquiry is essential. Not analysis that dissects the self, and not judgment that hardens identity, but sincere curiosity about what an experience is reorganizing within you. Asking what is being shown rather than what went wrong opens the inner architecture. Insight forms naturally when resistance relaxes. But insight alone is not enough. It must return to the world of action to complete the cycle. Once understanding emerges, action must follow, even if the action is small. Insight without embodiment fades back into abstraction. But a single aligned choice, made consciously, is enough to anchor new understanding into lived reality. This is how coherence builds. Each completed cycle refines perception, stabilizes emotion, and clarifies intention. Over time, consciousness becomes less reactive and more present. The hinge between these two orientations is the present moment, not the past, which exists as memory and interpretation, not the future, which exists as probability and projection. The present moment is where meaning collapses into choice. It is the only point at which consciousness can actively participate in creation. This is why presence is not a spiritual slogan. It is a functional requirement. When action arises purely from habit, conditioning, or fear, life feels reactive and constrained. When reflection never becomes action, insight remains theoretical and powerless. But when action emerges from understanding, the system aligns. Decisions feel quieter, clearer, and less charged. Effort decreases, not because nothing is done, but because resistance has fallen away. As coherence stabilizes across thought, emotion, intention, and behavior, access to deeper states of awareness becomes possible. This access is not achieved through force, discipline, or striving. It arises naturally when interference diminishes. What is often called intelligent infinity is not something reached or summoned. It is what remains when fragmentation dissolves. Moments of deep peace, timeless presence, unconditional compassion, or effortless creativity are glimpses of this state. They occur when inner alignment reaches a threshold. These moments are not random or granted from outside. They are structural responses of reality to coherence. The system opens because nothing is blocking it. You are not contacting something external in these moments. You are remembering an order that has always been present beneath distortion. The infinite does not arrive. It is revealed. Reality responds not to belief, but to resonance. When coherence is stable, access is inevitable. To work with this consciously, pause when life intensifies. Resist the urge to immediately fix, flee, or control. Ask instead what is being revealed and what orientation is being requested. Let understanding form without rushing it or demanding certainty. Then return to action deliberately. Choose one response that reflects what you now see, even if it feels modest. This completes the exchange between meaning and experience. Repeated over time, this practice reshapes identity itself. Spiritual development is not escape from the world, nor transcendence of humanity. It is mastery of orientation within experience. It is learning to move fluidly between action and understanding, without losing presence in either. You are not trapped in time, and you are not confined by space. You are participating in a living architecture designed to awaken through awareness. As coherence stabilizes within you, the infinite recognizes itself through you. Rejoice in the love and the light, and the power and the peace of the one infinite creator. Adonai,